Alright, I think all of that looks good, other than like if I have something here, the reflection, but maybe. No, just no matter what. I'll just have one turned over. No, still pretty bad. Looks pretty good. Oh, God, tastes like ass. Not gonna lie, I wanted to slam this on my desk. What is up, YouTube? It is your boy. Before I start this, I just want to say that you click this video, you know what it is. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions and reviewing. I'm going to review the Polaroid Now Plus Generation 2, the Gen 2. So, I made a video, okay, where I talked about this, where I talked about wanting to possibly review products, and like I was just testing color grading, and I wanted to see what I could do here. And I was just talking about that, and I was like, you know, maybe at a later time I'll actually record a review, blah blah blah. And then more than 50% of people disliked that video for whatever fucking reason. I just want to say to you 5 or so people that disliked that video, I hope very dearly, deep down inside, the next time you fart in public, it is solid. Anyways, so we have the Polaroid Now Plus Generation 2. You got all these awesome specs on the side with autofocus, and then autofocus, and then autofocus, and then autofocus in a different language. So anyways, you can do double exposures, accurate flash, manual modes, light painting, don't know what that is because the sticker's over the top. You have self-timer, you have a tripod mount option, and it's made of 40-cent recyclable plastic. About the only positive that I can say for this whole thing right here. Sorry, I had to pause and change the focusing mode because it was wanting to focus up here on a ghost. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and just open this bad boy up. We'll talk about some of these features here in just a moment. I also don't script this. So I used to do YouTube a long time ago, and I reviewed products. Wasn't camera products, but it was products. And my biggest thing was I would just, off the top of my head, thoughts and opinions. And yeah, it made for really good content. So here you have different color filters. You have a clear filter. I never messed with any of these because I really had no reason to. This one's like a, I don't know what you would call that, but it's that. It has a pattern. I'm sure it would do something pretty cool with the lens, or it would underexposure image, either or, kind of whatever it wants to do. And it'll always be different. So you have a blue one, you have an orange one, you have a red one, you have a yellow, I believe. No. An orange, a red, that clear crystal, a blue, and maybe a green? No, you don't. Just don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, you get this cool little Polaroid branded filter bag. That comes in the box. And then you get this awesome Polaroid Now Plus instant camera manual. This teaches you how to use it. And it's got all these different languages and all these different instructions. Pretty neat, pretty nifty. Did not mean to drop that. Anyways, so here is your Polaroid Now Gen 2. This thing, it's cool. Alright, it is cool. It's fun. It does what a Polaroid does to an extent. And it's unfortunate because my biggest complaint about this isn't even the camera's fault. So, hello, let's start creating. So the thing that okay, maybe that wasn't a manual. Here's a manual. That looks like a manual. I didn't look at any of this paperwork. So, Download Polaroid app for extra creative options. Follow the QR code, blah, blah, blah. So, my issue with that statement right there, and the reason I like doing these off the top of the head, I haven't looked or opened that a single time since purchasing this. So, download the app for more creativeness, you know? All of these features here on the side, the double exposure, the manual modes, the light painting, the self-timer, those features are only accessible from the app. So you have to have the app to be able to do these. You don't have, unless I just don't know the button configuration, because if I did, what would I even be doing here with this review? Unless there's a certain button configuration that I don't know about, you have to have the app in order to be in those modes. And let me see. The toll road notice of toll evasion. You have X amount of time. Fuck you. Anyways, so if you go to the Polaroid app, I think you might be able to see that. So I can take this camera right here. I can turn that bad boy on. Alright, it's on. Okay, so I'm going to go down to cameras. Instantly pulls this up, so now I can go through this. There's no cartridge, which is cool that it tells you that, and full battery, blah blah blah. You have the remote, self-timer, double exposure, aperture, tripod, portrait, light painting, manual mode. Manual mode pisses me off, just being 100% honest. I don't care for manual mode, because see how that it adjusted my aperture for me? I can't run my aperture at f11 and then go down to shutter speed of 1/200. I can't do it. Won't let me. It's 1/60th. I can't go. That's not manual if it's changing stuff for me. Anyways, let's get that out of the way. So, biggest problem with this, other than the features being in the app and all this stuff, and then you're required to download that if you want to use them, and then, you know, it shows that they have X amount of downloads, and like, oh, this app is so popular on the creative category because people are being forced to download it in order to get these features and blah, blah, blah. Like, I really don't care. It's the price of the film cartridges. Okay, so I have $400 right here in this stack of Polaroids. $400. Alright, so it's fun. That I'm very surprised that the exposure actually worked out on. Let's find one that didn't. That I'm really surprised by this one, because the black and white, in my experience, has been the absolute best compared to the color. Let's see. Okay, this was in the middle of the day. Really good example with the color. Middle of the day, everything is so wonky. Shadows are very dark, highlights are dark, it's underexposed. Alright? You don't have to be a professional to know that you've lost a lot of detail from being underexposed. Shooting this in auto mode, no, like, why? Anyways, this, really good. Love this one. One of my favorites. Really good. One of my favorites. Really good. Very first photo I took on this thing. Favorites. Little underexposed, still have a lot of details. Love it. One of my favorites. Everything actually worked out really good on this. Skin tones is good. All the colors look really good. Everything's exposed really good. Big fan. This review has turned into reviewing my photos. Here we are with Saw number 2. We got the cheeseburger kid drinking cheeseburger soup like a Capri Sun. What's Saw, dude? Got another burger soup, dude. Okay, this might have been user error, but I had the flash one, and I feel like I was in an adequate amount of distance for the flash to pick up, like, to light more of them, but no. Saw, dude. Saw, dude. Okay, so here's one, and this is gonna play into what I'm talking about. So you can see that there is like some distortion in the middle of the Polaroid, and then you have this distortion right here. So a little context to this photo. The sun is not coming from this direction in this photo. The sun is coming from this direction in the photo. It was overhead going this way, and it still has that like little splotchy spot. See, this turned out really good for having the sun directly behind, pointed straight into the camera. You can see the little flare there. That is your sun. It's a giant star in our solar system. This, horrible. I don't know why it did this. Have no idea. It's like very, I'm too why? Why? Really good. One of my favorites. This one's hilarious. One of my favorites. The black and whites are pretty much all my favorite. Not my kid, not showing that. This one turned out really decent. This was a second attempt with the first photo. What's crazy, let me move this one out of the way, because like I said, not my child, not my business to show on here. So, these two right here, these were taken back to back. Like I wasn't using the app. I wasn't changing any settings. Nothing about this had changed. Two completely different photos. There's that. Oh, this one was auto settings as well. Don't know what happened with this. And then these last two again are not my child, so I'm not showing those. I didn't dig through these before. This one exposed enough, okay? Pretty good. The issue with a lot of these messing up is the fact that, okay, so these color photos, all right, if you break it down, not counting tax, you're just going by whole dollar amount, all right, the color photos are around $2 a shot. That's pretty outrageous in my opinion. And then your black and whites are about $2.80 a photo. Almost $3, I think is pretty horrible. For not knowing if the photo is going to work out, for not knowing if it's going to be exposed correctly, running in auto mode, which auto mode should auto tell you, hey, this is the best that you can do in this environment. It's going to be like, all your exposure is going to be good. All the readings are good. This is great. I understand running auto mode in low light. Okay, that's a given. You're probably going to end up with something wonky. But again, let me dig for it real quick so people can take their time. While I'm digging for this photo, I'm not going to cut any of this. I'm just going to shuffle through. You can go ahead and dislike the video if you want to. It's perfectly fine. But again, like the previous people, I hope the next time you are in public and you fart, it is solid. It'll take 10 years to dig through this one. Broad daylight, okay? Middle of the fucking day. There's no reason. This isn't nostalgic. This, I know a lot, it's the aesthetic. It's the aesthetic of the Polaroid. I know that's like a big thing for people right now, is aesthetically pleasing because I'm shooting on film. I'm shooting on old Polaroid cartridges. It's the aesthetic. It's so beautiful. It's fucking stupid to spend $2 for this right here to be underexposed, and then I have to scan with my Epson V550, and I have to go in and I have to scan TIFF, and then I have to like slightly adjust stuff to bring details back to this the best that I possibly can without absolutely ruining it with distortion and grain and noise and all that crap. This was a $2 photo, and this was auto mode, and it underexposed. It's not aesthetically pleasing for crap like that, and I just don't think that for the price that it should be where it is at. And that's my biggest harp on this product itself. Like the camera, decent. I don't mind this camera. I think it's fun. I mean, it's not a cheap little camera. You're paying what? I bought this used. I'm pretty sure these are like 120 new for just the standard. I don't know what with the includes filters and all that crap. I don't know what that is. But this right here, ooh, camera bouncy. Don't bounce the camera. This right here for the color film is $18. This right here for the black and white is like $22. 8 instant photos. 8. Buy a 16 pack and you better take out a fucking personal loan. I just think it's ridiculous. And that's why I don't care for it. And that's kind of like, that's it on the review. That was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I had a real good time. I can't wait to see how amazing this video does, my first review on this channel. If no one's figured it out yet with what I do with this channel, this is a channel for me to just kind of like learn. So my goal is to just play around with color grading and camera settings and different equipment, and then I can go back in like 4 months, 6 months, a year, and I can see where I was previously at, and then I can compare that to where I am at now with what I'm learning with color grading and setting things up. And like, this is just an overhead. I'm not going to do anything special with this, but I'm going to work on the color grading. I'm going to see how well I can make that look, because I'm not used to color grading video. So that's the whole point of this. This is just like side quest. I don't really care. But again, you know, about the solid fart thing. If you don't understand that, I hope you shit on yourself, right? So the next time you are in public, or hell, even if you're at work, I hope you get to work and within the first hour, the leftovers you had the night before, you just exorcism from your ass in the workplace environment. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go kick back and edit this really quickly, so maybe I can get it up today. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know how to end these. Goodbye. Peace. Peace, y'all. I don't know. Hell yeah.